Hello and welcome to today's race at Pocono Raceway for the nr 2003-2007 Sim Series, but it follows the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series schedule. Matt Kenseth has put it up on the pole position with Jimmy Johnson next to him. Before we do get into the starting lineup though, let's go through the points so you can see where your favorite driver stacks up. Or look at the points. On the pole is Matt Kenseth with Jimmy Johnson next to him. Johnson has won 2 of the last 3 races. He won at Charlotte and Michigan. Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin line up behind them to make up row number 2, with Jeff Burton and Martin Truex Jr. in row number 3. Kurt and Kyle Busch in row number 4, with Jamie McMurray and Clint Boyer in row number 5. Row 6 consists of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon, and row 7 consists of J.J. Yaley and Reed Sorensen. Row 8 consists of Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman, and row 9 consists of Juan Montoya and Carl Edwards. Row number 10 consists of Casey Mears and Elliott Sadler, and Casey Cannon and Greg Biffle make up row number 11. Ricky Rudd and Johnny Sauter make up row number 12, with David Gillen and Paul Menard in row number 13. Row 14 consists of Robbie Gordon and David Stremme, and row 15 consists of David Reagan and Bobby Labonte. Bill Elliott and Tony Raines line up behind them in row number 16, with Scott Riggs and Mark Martin in row number 17. Jeff Green and Kyle Petty in row number 18, with Kevin LePage and Dave Blaney in row number 19. Joe Nemechek and Brian Vickers make up row number 20, with Dale Jarrett and AJ Allmendinger in row number 21. And rounding out the field is the 55 of Michael Waltrip. Now, with that out of the way, let's go down trackside to get the command to fire up these engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the engines are fired up here from the Pocono Raceway. 3 stages today, the 2 planned cautions for the stages on lap number 24 and 51. So you will, I believe, see a pit stop under green during both stages if we don't see a caution. Because the fuel should only go about 2 laps. So 80-lap breaks, we're maybe looking at a 3-stop, 4-stop. It depends how much people decide to save, really, how many cautions we do get. This top lane is the preferred lane. You see that traction compound, or what remains of the traction compound. Still pretty dark here on this version of Pocono, but it gives an advantage to the cars running in it. So you'll see mostly single file here in the first few spots, but you'll see them going 2, 3, 4 wide further back. So it is possible to pass on the inside. You just need to have a driver daring enough to do it. Track position is so important here. You don't want to use it. You want to be on top of your strategy here today. And you're inching ever so closer to the chase. Be top 10 at the end of the stages, and you'll be sitting pretty for your points haul for the day. Jimmy Johnson trying to get free wind out of these past 4 races. Matt Kenseth trying to win again this season as well. Harvick hasn't won yet. Hamlin has. Burton's won. Truex has not. But the field is going to come around turn 3 here for the final time. Behind the pace car, double file. And we are going to get the green flag here from Pocono. Here we go. All 43 cars about to come to life. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing at Pocono. Kenseth and Johnson side by side as they head off to turn number 1. It's Kenseth still with Johnson on his outside, but he's going to drive it in deep and take the lead away from Johnson. Johnson looked at making a move there on the high side. Thought better of it as Harvick and Hamlin are side by side for third into turn number 2, the tunnel turn here at Pocono. And you're not going to see too many aggressive moves here early as Kenseth nearly grazes the wall. I think he may have made some slight contact with the wall, because Johnson has the forward momentum here into turn number 3. Side by side here off turn number 4 on the front stretch. It's going to be Kenseth, though, who leads lap number 1. Kenseth leads lap 1, as you see. They're still spreading out back there. Johnson goes low for second. He's going to hang Burton. But Kenseth now with a sizable margin here at the front. A little bit of breathing space there for the 17. Kurt Busch thought about making it 3 wide there. Battles his RCR teammate Jeff Burton. And Johnson gets the wall. Hamlin's going to get by for second. Burton may get by for third. Jeff Burton side by side with Joe Johnson as we are going to be utilizing this helicopter camera a lot today to show these battles. Jeff Gordon 3 wide further back. He's having a little bit of trouble here to start this race. And there's pretty much 2 established groups already. It seems like someone got checked up back here. And when these tires wear, it becomes easier for some cars to pass. And because these guys are out of control. Johnson looks low on Hamlin for second. Kenseth leads by about not even half a second, maybe about 2 or 3 tenths, as they head for turn number 3 once again. I thought I saw a little bit of smoke there, so maybe someone's turned around there. Because I didn't see anyone in pit road, and there was a little bit of smoke lingering there. So I wonder if someone just got turned side. Oh, they did. David Gilliland in the 38 went for a slide. And for some reason, this was a caution. A little bit of contact there with his teammate Ricky Brennan in 88. Let's take a look from the helicopter cam. Yeah, Rudd just bounced off the wall, and Gilliland kind of hit him in a weird spot. So David Gilliland has an uphill climb ahead of him for the rest of this race. About 10 seconds behind the nearest car on track to him. I wonder if he can run Michael Waltrip back there down for position, even after spinning out. That'll be something to keep an eye on. What else there is to keep an eye on is Johnson and Hamlin side by side for second here in the turn Burton with them. Distance themselves from the Harvick, Kyle Busch, Yaley, Truex Jr., Kurt Busch, McMurray, Boyer, Stewart Gordon. Yaley thought about making it 3 wide, decides not to. And comes to turn number 2. Now Johnson battling side by side with Jeff Burton for third. Seems like he tried to make a move on Hamlin into the tunnel, and it's going to cost him a 3rd spot as Burton gets around the outside. And I think about 10-15 laps into a run is when you'll really see this tire fall off. And we got a caution. Caution on the speedway. There's Dale Jarrett in the 44. So Dale Jarrett in the 44 goes for a slide here off turn into turn number 3. It's a bit of a weird spot to crash in. Let's take a look at what happened here. And the 84 of Omnimaker just drove it in a little bit deep there on him. He got spun into the wall, I guess, a little bit inconsistent of the cautions, because the 38 spun off 2, and that wasn't a caution. So a bit odd with the decision making here, but under our first caution of the day, you will not be seeing green flag pit stops here in stage number 1. If they decide to pit. And I don't see why you wouldn't pit here. It's a free pit stop. Don't have to come in under green. No one's a lap down, so there will not be a free passes time here from Pocono. And yeah, it is actually the whole entire field now coming down pit road. So if you have a disastrous pit stop, you could lose all of your track position here, which will be very hard to gain back. As we watch the pit stop on the 17 and Atkins of Kevin Harvick, with a good bit of side damage here. Will the 29 team decide to sit here with Harvick and fix that car? Kenseth's going to be out and away from pit road. Johnson losing several spots. And it looks like the 29 team is going to fix that damage. So Kevin Harvick's team is going to be depending on him to gain back all these spots that he has to watch. Go straight by him. Sorensen's not a great pit stop either. But he's going to come out maybe in the 30s. Yeah, 32nd here for Kevin Harvick. Matt Kenseth is going to hold the lead as we come back around for the restart of this race. Pace car peels the pit road, and we are coming back to the green flag in the air. Kenseth leads us to it. And you see no one making a move here off towards turn 1 quite yet. The field just coming to life here. And straight away, as you see those cars fly by, you see Kevin Harvick peeking out of line for a move for the back. You see Denny Hamlin peeking out of line for a move up here. Side by side for the lead. Kenseth kind of lift there on the exit of 2. And Hamlin is going to clear for the race lead. So a great move on the bottom bay by the 11. And Kenseth's going to slide up the hill here. Just he's going to lose a spot to Jeff Burton in the 31. As they continue to fan out here. So now Hamlin leads over Burton. Kyle and Kurt Busch battling for fourth. Kyle, who ends up getting that spot. And can Kurt fill the hole that Johnson's trying to close? Yes, he can. So here they go through turn 2. Several rows of cars side by side. Kurt Busch is going to get the wall. That's going to allow Yaley to have a run. But where will Kurt Busch break? He's going to slide up the racetrack here. He's going to kill his momentum in the center. Kurt Busch slots into 5th. 6th. Great run so far for Yaley. You see these silver cars having their own little battle. Well, Page is going to slide up the racetrack. Nearly nabs already. Johnny Sauter is going to clear them because of that. Tony Raines also trying to come forward. He'll be nose to nose with the 45 here in the turn number 2. But the 45 does get a bit of a launch on the exit, but the 96 is going to be clear by the time they get to turn 3. Now that 45 is just the leading spot out here down the front straightaway. Back to the front of the pack. 4 cars out here running together on their own. This isn't Michigan where you're gonna see single file pack racing pretty much, but you are gonna see people in groups just because their car speeds are so similar. Yaley got the wall there off turn 2, gonna allow Busch to get by. Truex gets a 2-for-1. while this happens, the top four is pulling away. Busch is going to get the wall again. Just a little scrape, nothing too major. But that's going to allow Yaley to get side by side again to free. And Busch is going to run it up the hill. And here's the 18s who is inside. We got a caution on the speedway again. And it's the 37 of LePage. And it looks like he's backed it into a wall, considering the angle of that rear spoiler. Oh, that's not what happened. He got contact from David Gilliland in the 38. So Gilliland's struggles still continue today, as his teammate Ricky Rudd puts himself into the outside table. But it's going to be interesting to see how Kevin LePage does now with a damaged race car. Do they pit? You know, you're pretty close to the end of the stage. Let's see. They do. All of them are going to come down. And obviously, they have to be thinking about their fuel number that they've got to hit. Hitting right now, lap, well, it'll be 17 when that most of these guys stop in their stall. But this means they'll be putting lap 35, 36 if it goes green. So about like, well, I'm not completely sure because yellow's going to come out lap 24. They might hit again. It would extend their run to 43, 44-ish. So definitely will be something to keep an eye on. Jeff Burton is going to win the race off pit road here. A slow pit stop for the 11 of Hamlin. Yaley gets kind of shuffled back here into the pack. So does Tony Stewart in the 20. You see Kevin LePage, his team deciding to ditch the bullet. And Michael Waltrip in this 55 is going to come out ahead of some people. So we'll see how he does with some track position now. But I doubt LePage will be any competitive anymore. So we got one to green. And it'll be Jeff Burton now, leading us back to the restart. Obviously, the disadvantage for some of those back runners is they're still turning for turn 3 when these guys get to the restart zone. And here we come back to the green flag back in the air. Gilliland immediately forced out a line back there. Does the 38 have some sort of issue? He's dropping back. Gilliland was close to that chase cut line, so this will again be another blow to his charge to try and make the chase. Kurt Busch looking low on Truex. Thought about making it free wide here in the 2, sorry. Burton still leads. Free wide here for the second. McMurray, Newman, and Earnhardt Jr., but they're already back down to 2. And here's Gordon looking to make it free wide, but that's going to be back down to 2 before he can even make it free wide. Lead here off turn 1 as they head down this long back straightaway. Yaley with that bad pit stop falls to 22nd spot. So again, another good call for bad pit stop. Nobody out of this race yet. Last place currently, Kevin O'Page. I think someone's really wide back there. Maybe it's noticing. I thought I saw someone get pretty high up the groove there. You know, get into the marbles. Suppose not. They head down this back straightaway again. Bush trailing Burton as they head for turn 3 again. Johnson and Truex way up the hill there for 3 and 4. I mean, I'm used to traditional ovals, okay? 1 and turn 2. They got turn 2 and nearly into the fence. Look at this. They're all single filed out now. David Gilliland, whatever he had wrong with his car, maybe he just had like something go wrong with the transmission or something, because he has run down Michael Walter past him, and now he's run down this Red Bull of Allmendinger, but he's slowed down there on the front straightaway, so it may be something recurring as Kyle Busch has lost second in that. And while all of this is happening, we're going to come back around to the white flag and stage in number 1 already. Trying not to let Burton get the stage 1 here, but here we go for the white flag and stage number 1 here from Pocono. And Kenseth is there. Where does he make the move? He's looking low. Is he going to try to pressure Burton and make a mistake here on the exit of 2? All over the back bumper of that 31 car. No move coming into 2. Has he been pressured into the mistake Kenseth wanted? Kenseth's going to have the momentum. They may be side by side here. No, Kenseth stays in line. Will win stage number 1 here at Pocono. A bit of an anticlimactic end to stage 1. It's going to be Burton, Kenseth, Busch, Johnson, Truex, Hamlin, Gordon, Jr., Kurt Busch, and Ryan Newman, your top 10. And Gilliland got past that Red Bull of Allmendinger, so yeah, we'll just have to see what the problem is on that 38. And here comes everyone, so this would extend their field run to lap 45 in the second stage, ends on lap number 51. And again, everyone's still on the lead lap. We haven't got a long enough run so far to put everyone, well, to have someone go a lap down yet. As the field comes down pit road here. And there's going to be a maybe brief second, no, not even that. There's not even going to be a second where everyone stopped in the pit stall. That's how fast these pit crews work. As they come off pit road, it's going to be Jeff Burton who wins the race off pit road. Harvick again with a slow stop. Going to come out ahead of the 6. My recording thing crashed right there. So, Harvick does win. Does get off a bit behind again. He'll restart 23rd, so he's progressing. So don't count Kevin Harvick out yet, fan or not of that 29 car. And when we get the green flag here, it'll be under Just over, 20 laps to go in stage number 2. So if we do decide to be neat and tidy and stay green, then we will see green flag stop. Some people get lapped here during this run, and the green flag's going to be back in the air. As they all charge down the front straightaway, Gilliland again with issues back there. So whatever is hindering that 38 car has run away here under this pit cycle. Kyle Busch hangs on to second ahead of Kenseth. Now Gordon looking inside on Johnson. Gordon finally got his first one of the season at Nashville a couple races ago. Now he doesn't even have to worry about that. Bobby O'Bonney, who's been hovering around this chase cut line, just below it at the moment. He's trying to maybe get a surprise win, Caution falls at the right time when we get down to the end of this race. If we do get green flag pit stops, that is. Busch and Kenseth side by side so far. Kenseth blocks Johnson, but Johnson dives back down low. 48 and 17 maybe side by side here into turn number 2. Kenseth shuts the door. And Burton got a little wide there off turn number 2. So here comes Kyle Busch back at him. Busch a little bit up the hill into turn number 3. Trying to get some clean air on that nose. As this race inches towards halfway. Just about 10 laps until we do reach that halfway point. And this game doesn't have rain or anything, so we will not be having any delays for that. What else can we talk about out here? Joe Nemechek, looking competitive for his standards up in the upper 30s today. And Gilliland is in that portion where he comes live, but look at that. The 84, it seems like the car does fine at the beginning of a straightaway. I'm going to make sure there's no battle for the lead. They're free wide, of course. No, they're not free wide anymore. So watch this. Gilliland is able to hang with the 84 here on the straightaway. But then he just gets blasted past, so it makes you wonder what the problem with the 38 car is. He's pretty able to keep up in the turns, but these guys are moving away from him. Just watch, it's like the 84, when we get to the end of this straightaway specifically, it looks like the 84 just turns on the rocket boosters. Edge ahead. That's just the pace of this 38 car at the moment. We talk about Gilliland every week because he won the 500. He's been in a bit of a slump since then. I think he had like 2 or 3 straight just crashing. Crashed at Atlanta, crashed at Las Vegas, crashed at Phoenix, I think as well. Crashed at Coda, I think. Lap 1. The 84 goes when we get by the 38 again. And this is a fun little battle because the 38's better in the corner. These two are better down the straightaway. So it's like for them, which one would you rather have? Straightaway or corner speed? I prefer straightaway speed here at a track like Pocono. But now the field's starting to spread out as these tires seem to start to get a little bit of wear on them. Kevin LePage back here, dead last, about 23 seconds back. We're running 37-second lap times, so I don't think they'll be catching that 37 car for a while here. As we continue to monitor this top 10, Boyer battled with Mears here for a spot just outside the top 10, 13th. side by side of him. Let's give some props to Bill Elliott here, running in the 20th spot, just ahead of some of these good cars like Yaley, Obama, Sadler. Sadler's a pretty good car. Harvick is a pretty good car. Casey Kane in traffic. He's been trying to work his way above that chase cut line. Not really going well for him at the moment. That's actually 18th for Bill Elliott. I mean, Paul Menard right ahead of him, running in 17th. Menard has had some bad luck this year. But he looks like he's been turning around a little bit lately. Like, he's not competitive like his two teammates, Truex and Earnhardt Jr. are, but he's been involved in less crashes lately. And for him, that is pretty good. Yes, by Truex Jr. for 5th here as they go through turn 1, but nobody really making a move for position here in this top 4. And let's check where LePage's. LePage exits turn 3. Where are the leaders? There's Jeff Burton. So in this camera shot, you can actually still see Jeff Burton. And where David Gilliland passed those two. So 38. Even though he has no straightaway speed, his car is just so much better that he just flies past them. Waltrip and Allmendinger are repeatedly stuffing it into the fence, so I think these tires wearing might have something to do with that. LePage is 39 seconds back. There's LePage right there. You can see him. And camera shot. Busch almost got the wall there off turn number 2. About 2.5 seconds back to this little group of Gordon, Truex, and Newman. But these guys have broken away pretty well. Again, how will the pit cycle? All these leaders want to cover off these guys because with fresh tires, you're going to have around probably about a second advantage per lap. So say you're 4 seconds back, you hit 4 laps before everyone else, you're going to have the race lead as they just split Kevin LePage 3 wide here to lap him. I was so sure that he was going to hold up Matt Kenseth for Jimmy Johnson. Kenseth going to take a little bit of a shallower entry though, into 3, and ends up giving up a spot to Johnson. But that was a pretty cool move right there. This whole group is still after LePage the lap in. If Truex is fortunate enough, he'll get him straight away. You see the 2 of Kurt Busch thought about firing this way, but LePage is going to get the wall and let all of these guys by. And Biffle and Jr. split him as well. And they're about to catch these 3 cars, Waltrip, Allmendinger, and Gilliland, so let's see how these guys get through them. Busch looking for the lead here into turn 1, side by side of the 31 car. We're going to be drag racing here for turn number 2, as Busch tries to stay to the inside of Jeff Burton. Can't quite make it happen. Someone got the wall up here. That's Michael Waltrip, and around goes Jeff Burton. Race leader gets into the lap car of Waltrip, and Burton's going to go for a slide here off turn number 2. And I think the 5 of Busch also got a piece of that. Johnson's going to inherit the race lead, and the caution's going to fly. And race leader Jeff Burton has just gotten taken out by a down car, and he's going slowly along the apron. I think he might have taken a bunch of damage from that. An unfortunate break for Jeff Burton in the 31 car. Let's take a look at this. So, Waltrip was actually in the... It was like Burton was indecisive of where to go. I want to see if he... I'm going to go into slow-mo and see if Burton, like... switches up, because Waltrip's in the wall right there. Waltrip's coming down the racetrack, and Burton's going to get him. Burton's going to get him. And he just turns up. That could have been so easily avoided. But I digress. Let's take a look at the onboard of Jeff Burton. It's like he turns up the racetrack. Like he thinks is okay. So look at this. Waltrip's going about 40 miles an hour slower, and you can even see that little. Look at the middle of Burton's wheel. This little white piece. Now watch as he approaches Waltrip. He's going 43 miles an hour faster at this point. And he just turns and hits him. Nowhere for the 5 to go during all this. But now, how much damage does the 5 have? I guess not much. As you see these guys coming off of pit road there. Burton is going to be trapped at the back of this field now. We'll see how NASCAR goes about it. Michael Waltrip will get the free pass here under this yellow. We'll have one lap to green this time around. Waltrip seems to have taken a bit of damage here. I want to get what happened to Michael Waltrip after we get the stage in here. Why is he missing his hood? Here we come back to the restart zone. For some reason, Jeff Burton only gets buried in about 18th, so it's not like it's over for him. Green flag in the air as they head for turn 1. But that 31 is damaged, you see it right there. The wounded 31 car holds everyone up there and tries to turn 1. And where can he go? You know, he's gonna be running the sideways and required to pull over for you. And I think they're wrecking back here. They tried to wreck back there. But Burton's lack of speed is going to show here on the straightaway. When pretty much all of these cars go straight by him. Actually going to be pretty much everyone that goes by him other than these absurd slow lap cars. At least he got some points there in stage number 1. Maybe his team can look under the hood here under this caution See what is wrong with the 31 of Jeff Burton. A little bit quicker here for this next run. Because Bush ran into Burton, and he still has some pace. Just a very interesting scenario here with the 31 of Burton. It's kind of reminiscent of the Gilliland situation, because they seem kind of close there on the exit of 3, but they just completely drove off to the straightaway. They're going about 10 miles per hour faster than Jeff Burton. Truex trying to work Kenseth over for second here. Can't quite get there. You see, yeah, they just completely got this 31 car down the front straightaway. They're not even in sight anymore. But we're inching closer to the end of the second stage here from Pocono. It was Burton stage 1. He had an issue, so does Jimmy Johnson want to win stage 2 here. Or will he get caught up in a wreck? If he does win stage 2, 3 wide down the front straightaway, Menard, Sadler, McMurray. Menard, despite having that preferred lane, gives up both of those positions. Maybe he feels he'll get one back from Sadler here on the exit of 1. Coming to 2 to go in stage 2. Kenseth is in this position again where he's running second. He'll probably have a great opportunity to go get it here on the last lap. Is he back in the legs, or did he get a bad corner? Here we go, white flag stage, 2 to go, stage number 2. Not white flag stage 2 just yet. And they're fanning out behind them. I thought they were about to go 4 wide there. Decided against it. Kurt Busch 3 wide, Tony Stewart 3 wide, and they may be 3 wide down the straightaway towards the tunnel. This battle's going to sort itself out here. As Truex Jr. has gotten by Kenseth, so now can Truex go get Johnson for this stage win. See here, Truex and Kenseth a little bit lower than Johnson here. If Kenseth doesn't try to make a move here, but Kenseth is going to try to make a move. Truex could have had the perfect run at Johnson there to 1, but Kenseth jumped out too early. Here we go, white flag stage number 2. Truex clears Kenseth. That's actually going to give him a little bit of forward momentum at Johnson. But like Kenseth, he's not popping out of line yet. Here comes Truex to the bottom. Here into the tunnel turn. Truex versus Johnson for the stage. Johnson with a huge run on exit, but Truex is going to stay there to the inside of Johnson. Johnson up the hill. And here they come back off turn to win. Johnson with the drive off, and it's going to be Johnson who wins the stage here at Pocono. So Johnson wins stage 2 over Truex and Kenseth and Hamlin and Newman and Edwards. Gordon, Earnhardt Jr., Biffle, and Kurt Busch round out your top 10. Kyle Busch fell back to 13th. Kevin LePage is going to get a free pass here, and after these pit stops, I want to see what happened. It's Michael Waltrip under caution there. Harvick having his climb back for the field. And look at this number. About lap 73 is one pit, and it's a bad pit stop for Jeff Gordon. But some of these guys may have only taken 2 tires or a little less fuel. Burton's going to come off with multiple pieces of his car missing. Now I want to watch the replay with Michael Waltrip. Michael Waltrip, how did you get this damaged? Okay, so he was already pitting. Oh, it must have been from the Burton incident. Yeah, because he's pretty beat up here. Okay, so it wasn't a separate incident. I think that's Dale Jarrett with his hood removed. But Kevin LePage, who is back down pit road, will get the free pass. To the field will he be? As I think he might be getting on the green. There he goes with Page. Unlaps himself. He might just catch up to the back of the field here. But we will see as the field is going to come around turn 3 back to the restart. Truex, Newman, Earnhardt Jr. I think all these guys might have stayed out. Or they just put less fuel in. Yeah, because everyone came down. Green flag back in the air. But Page does not catch up to the field. Ahead for turn 1, and Burton is slow again. So the 31 Burton again, holding everyone. Oh, not everyone. He's not in like 18th like last time, but he's holding these cars that are still quicker than him up, which is costing him time to the cars that are racing. Dale Jarrett in the wall. Kyle Petty is going to hang on to it. That was almost the yellow that some of these guys would have really liked to come in and top off on the field. Does not happen for them though. And Burton's going to pit road here. I suspect the 31 will go a lap down here. Truex leads over teammate Earnhardt Jr. and Newman. Junior with the nose ahead of Newman into turn 2. He will be clear for 12 here. And Jeff Burton has retired from the race. So too has Ricky Rudd in the 88. So 2 cars out of the race so far. And with all this battle, Truex has left everyone in the dust. .2 seconds the gap. Jr. chasing 3 wide right here, Hamlin, Boyer, and Johnson. Obviously, some of these cars like Earnhardt Jr. have not run very close to the top 5 today. And it also comes down to who took 2 tires, who put less fuel in the car, and that jumbles up your order. You know, because they want a shorter pit stop here when we do get around the final stops, what some of these guys may be focusing on, having the fresher tire and leapfrogging these guys. Newman looking low on Earnhardt Jr. just as the field right there had gotten stuck in the line of some sort. But Earnhardt Jr. is going to use the top side to stay ahead. And these guys need to realize they just need to ride in line for a little bit. Kenseth Williams and Kurt Busch. I thought they were about to be free wide here. They decide against it. Kenseth got to the corner with Kurt Busch. Couldn't quite do anything with it. Here comes Johnson around the outside of Greg Biffle. Getting a car between himself and Hamilton. He's going to look low on Newman down the front. Hamlin's looking high on Biffle, but Biffle's going to shut the door. Now, Congenious down his teammate. He's closed in by a few little bits, but not by much. And Newman's using the toe to stay ahead of Johnson. We'll get Hamlin inside of Biffle. Biffle's going to get the ball. That's going to lose him several positions. 3 wide. Now back down to 2 as Kenseth takes advantage. Kenseth not out of this fight for the win just yet. Now Biffle maybe helping his teammates out a little bit. There goes Kenseth. Edwards. Boy, does the 16 have an issue. Johnson looking low on Newman again, but it's Newman's teammate, Kurt Busch, is right there. Here comes Hamlin to the bottom. Oh, Newman gets the ball. Hamlin's going to get by. And Johnson is still stuck behind him. Truex had some sort of huge mistake. Maybe he got the ball a little bit because that gap has closed significantly. Now 0.7 of a second. And these lap cars are towards turn 3 at the moment. Hamlin's not done just yet. He's going to look to the inside of the 8 of Earnhardt Jr. Can't get a run done yet. But the 8 shuts the door. And again, it's a question of when do they pit? You think around that lap 73 mark, which is about 10 laps away from now. Hamlin looking side by side with Earnhardt Jr. here towards turn 1. Boyer's down pit road. I don't know if this is strategy or if he has a problem. But Hamlin trying to make moves has slowed Earnhardt Jr. up just a little bit. Let's look at this 07 of Boyer, and I think he does maybe have an issue. I mean, we'll see. He shouldn't go a lap down here, depending how long his crew holds him. And there he goes. He's out and away. Just as you see race leader Truex Jr. exiting turn 3. So Boyer's got to step on it, and this is strategy, because Truex and Earnhardt Jr. are coming in too. So too is Newman. So it's a great strategy call by Boyer to try to run outside of this group on his own for a lap, be in that clean air, and maybe undercut them. As here is everyone else getting their pit service from that top 5 area of the group. But where's Boyer? Truex a little slow off the jack. There's Boyer in turn 3. He's charging down the front straightaway, but he's not going to undercut them. He's going to get by Stewart and Biffle, though. Stewart and Biffle is going to fall a lap down to Johnson, Hamlin, and company. Stewart's going to be a bit iffy here. He needs to step on it, and Stewart is going to get lapped. An interesting strategy, considering not everyone is hopping onto it. You know, they're trying to pit early and then come out with the race lead by a huge margin. But now their problem is lap traffic. Biffle, I think. Got lapped too. There's some cars holding up race leader Truex Jr. Earnhardt Jr. is going to be able to gain here. So any time lost on pit road, immediately going to get made up here. Oh, Waltrip got into another lead lap car. And Bowyer gets completely slowed up by this. A huge checkup Bowyer had to make to not get wrecked. Stewart is only 48.4, Hamlin's still only at 48.5, so did these guys pit too early? They're going to be a complete when they come around this time, so it'll probably be a bit better of a gauge here. But Earnhardt Jr. would have liked those lap cars to hold up his teammate for a little bit longer later. And they're going to come up on Allmendinger here down the front straightaway. Okay, so Truex 48.1, Hamlin 49.1, a second quicker. As Riggs comes down pit road, you see Waltrip coming off pit road. Robbie Gordon's going to take a dive from pit road. Now will we see these cars start to pit, as Earnhardt Jr. is going to get by Truex provisionally for the lead of the race. Truex isn't done yet. Here they go side by side down the front. And Newman got held up there by the Red Bull that was pitting there. That was Allmendinger. So now Bowyer's going to have a huge run to the outside of Newman. And Truex Jr. is going to drive straight back by his teammate. Bowyer in provisionally third spot, but Truex is going to drive it up the hill, and Earnhardt Jr. is going to have a better run, and I think we have a caution. We do. David Stremme around on the front straightaway. Caution's going to fly. Is this one? And they're racing like it's for the lead of the race. Side by side down the front straightaway. Who's going to have the nose ahead? It's going to be Truex Jr. with the nose ahead. Have they gotten ahead of Johnson? No, they haven't. Johnson and Kurt Busch coming off of pit road right here. But are they going to get Johnson? Down the back straightaway. They're behind the 38 of Gilliland, and I think they've gotten held up in their line. So Johnson, it appears, and Kurt Busch are going to be the race leaders. They are the lucky ones with this strategy. But what? For Hamlin and others, they are not so lucky with this strategy. Robbie Gordon is going to get the free pass. So good for Robbie Gordon here. He's going to get the fly right by these guys. And I think these lap down cars that are already pitted are also going to wave around. Or no, they won't be able. No, they won't be able to because Johnson, Kurt Busch, Truex, Boyer, Newman, Stewart all stayed out. Yaley gets out first of these pitters, then Sorensen. There's Hamlin off pit road. Edwards behind him, then Matt Kenseth. Is Jimmy Johnson about to win again? Dave Gilliland is out of the race with a clutch issue, so I guess that was what was plaguing him there. Something that 3 cars done for the day. But here we go, less than 10 to go. Do these guys have anything for the 48 car? And the green flag is going to be back in the air. Cars already thinking about making moves, like Yaley further back there. Teammate Truex. But it's Johnson for the lead-off turn. Johnson won at Bristol, he won at Charlotte, and he won at Michigan. Kurt Busch hasn't won yet this season. And he's trying to get the race from the 48 car. Truex on the wall. He makes contact with Earnhardt Jr., who sweeps by into 3rd place. Now Boyer's going to try to take advantage as well. And side by side for the lead, it's Johnson and Kurt Busch. And Yaley and Sorensen are going to swing down pit road. Side by side for the race lead, though. Is Busch able to get the advantage here off turn 2? He is not. They stay side by side. Now Johnson may be able to clear. Is Kurt Busch going to fire one up the inside? Johnson wasn't able to take the line he wanted, but it's not going to matter, as they're coming around the 5 laps to go. Kurt Busch with the better run through 3. Here we go again, side by side down the front. And those 2 cars coming off of pit road are not going to matter in this battle for the lead, as Kurt Busch clears Johnson for the race lead off into turn number 1. Drive it. Johnson back down low, side by side again as they head for the tunnel. Johnson going to be on the quarter panel of Kurt Busch. Busch keep it out of the wall. Can he hang on to the position? Yes, he can. But for how much longer? Because Johnson's got the better run into 3. Busch is not going to let this 48 car clear just yet, as they run side by side behind them as well for the 3rd spot. Boyer and Jr. are going to catch up to this battle. Great battle it is for this race lead as Johnson clears again. And Kurt kind of overdrove turn 2 when he got the lead, so if he can get an opportunity to get it back, he needs to know to not do that again. But Johnson overdrives turn 2 this time. Will Kurt get another opportunity at him? Here's Kurt back into the picture. Matt Kenseth not out of it just yet as he clears Boyer for 4th. 3 laps to go. Busch gonna look low again into 1. Can't get anything there. Trying to build up a run on Johnson. Kenseth trying to build up a run on Earnhardt Jr. here for 3rd. All while, it is still Johnson leading here at Pocono. Here they come for turn number 3. To 2 laps to go. And will they make it back? As Kurt Busch used everything up. Johnson just needs 2 mistake-free laps here to the end, and he'll be home free. Busch got out of the tunnel that time. It's not over yet. White flag. 1 lap to go from Pocono. The gap still stays about 0.2 of a second. Potential lap traffic ahead. Busch lower for 1. That may have killed any shot if Johnson doesn't get the wall here off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway for the final time. And does he have it made? Needs a perfect turn number 3. And he's going to be headed for home. Jimmy Johnson is going to win 3 out of the last 4 races to continue the Hendrick streak. Hendrick 4 in a row. Johnson wins at Pocono. Johnson had a Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards, Dale Jr., Clint Boyer, Casey Mears, Jeff Gordon, and Kyle Busch. Bill Elliott with a great run.